took my money. What's going to happen now?
I play a cut. You get a cut, I get a cut, we get square.
All right.
Confidence is a crime drama conman film from 2003. It stars Edward Burns as Jake, so he's our protagonist and main conman, and we follow him as he assembles a group of fellow con men and women to do a big con. There's grifters, there's bribes, there's banks and money, and everything you would expect from this sort of film. So Josh, you picked this one, so tell us a bit about why you picked it.
Yeah, so I picked this one because I think it's a little bit underseen. So in terms of box office, it made $23 million worldwide. I think it probably should have made more money. And I also think that I think it deserves to be seen by more people. In terms of the ratings, now, at the time of recording on IMDb, it gets 6.6 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, the audience give it 70%. And the critics give it 69%. I'd say maybe slightly underrated, but the main reason I picked this was I thought it was underseen. Now, had you seen it before?
I hadn't seen it before, and I don't really think that I'd heard of it. So I had quite a lukewarm reaction to this film. I don't think I liked it as much as you did, but there was certainly a lot to like in there. The main things for me were the technical elements and some of the cinematic techniques that they used to tell the story. Things like the camera angles, the lighting, the blocking, just some of the ways that the scenes were put together I thought was really effective and really immersive. There's a lot of shaky cam in this as well that I wasn't really expecting. It really made you feel like you were in there, in the action with the characters.
I think what I said in the episode was it's sort of like Ocean's 11, but a bit grubbier. I think it's quite entertaining. I think there's a decent balance in it of exposition and pandering. It does that thing where characters lay out what they're going to do and how they know better and how the con's going to work and all that sort of stuff, but they don't do too much of it.
You're a good grifter, man. It's hard to tell when you're lying.
What was the other side of the coin then? What did you really not like?
So the main issue for me with this film is that I didn't really connect to Edward Burns' character. And I feel like when you compare him to maybe someone like Will Smith in Focus or George Clooney in Ocean's 11, he just didn't carry the same kind of charisma and the same sort of gravitas that you would expect to see from your leading man. Now, it's quite difficult to pinpoint exactly what I mean by that because he isn't a bad actor and it wasn't a bad performance. It just felt like he turned up on the day to read his script and that was it. I didn't feel like there was much depth there and that he didn't really do any extra work to figure out who this man is and what his motivations are.
Pacing falls down a little bit about 2/3 of the way in. I think it becomes a little bit bogged down in its own plot. I'm still saying it's underseen, probably appropriately rated. So what would you say?
For me, those scores are a little bit overrated. Though there are some really positive elements to the film, as a whole, it just didn't hit me where I wanted it to. In terms of underseen, I think if you're into this sort of thing, if you do like sort of con man heist films, then this is probably really for you. And that is quite a low amount that it made at the box office, I think, overall. So I'll give it to you that it could be a little bit underseen.